they teeth. All these niggas gotta walk with me. I had enough, they hop, they quit me. Sit down when they peep, a CP thing. Spade is spade is spade is spade. She's so smooth like a nigga eat suede. Need more green, always shadow water shade, always shadow water shade, 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 shade. Gray on my black, I forgot to ash. Don't pray, but in fact, I would nap in mass. I would nap in class, my nappy
Peace,
ass.
peace. What it do is I.the.cool coming live. Mental Arts Dojo 05. The last Maven. Gotta add them up.
First impressions fit small on me. Some stress affect my little harmony. So I'm in the cut like Waldo. Yeah, niggas thinking that they are low, but they are low.
It's that heat, actually. You really know.
Yeah, you know how I'm trying to get down, man.
You said what, sorry?
I said, you know how I'm trying to get down.
Yes, sir. It's like let me delve right into this. This is super funky, you know?
For sure. No, I definitely enjoyed that beat.
You said what, sorry?
I said I definitely enjoyed the beat. It was super fire. I came across it on YouTube, man, and I was just like, you know what, this is the one.
Man, you have one of the coldest flows. You know that Hisoka, the nasty Hisoka. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I definitely appreciate it, man. It's definitely a focal point.
100%, man. But how you been though? How's your day been going? Hopefully
it's been
going well.
Smooth, man. Yeah, it was a chill day. How about you?
Yeah, man. Same old. You know, just a few clubhouse thingies going on, but aside from that, same old. You know how it is. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're here to break down emissions test, ET.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I may even IT. So, with this piece, right? Emissions test. You want to kind of give like a preface to it, kind of along with it.
Yeah, for sure. I think for the most part, I personified cars and things dealing with that. But it was a lot of other layering with the metaphors in terms of like people are machines, life is a journey. It's a lot of other things that all tie into cars, and that relate to it in that sense. But yeah, honestly, the first line kind of hit me fully by itself. Sometimes life just happened like that. And once I had that point, that's kind of why I followed up with the second line, not to get ahead of myself, but that first line inspired what would be the freestyle. For sure.
Okay. So it's kind of the first piece is leading on to the rest. So you're making a statement, just kind of let it be known.
Exactly.
On that kind of like braggadocio, but not really, like more of a different approach, right?
Indeed.
Okay, dope. So yeah, if you could do like a live rendition to kind of just get people through it, so they kind of have an idea of what it is we're discussing. And sure. In case they missed out, it's Source 05 emissions test. This should be the latest post. If you guys want to go check it out and come back, but we're getting it live from the source right here. So
indeed,
go ahead,
Source 05. All right. My mind's racing and under my eyes tire marks. This revolutionary thought-inspired dialogue. My engine running, my mileage up, so is my exhaust. And when that energy climb up, it throw the climate off. Whether change is evident to you by and large or by a little bit, challenges can't get out of dodge. You can't afford escape where focus goes a very long way if you cognizant of this road. For something perpendicular hit you, then up your dough. And this create a chaotic intersection for sure, for you. It even make your perimeter drive slow, homie. Either way, I'ma keep it rolling alone in my lane. Am I just a component in the machine? Was I made to be used? Fucking fuming again. Put a dub on the diesel that I consume when I'm drained. Fuel the frame, boost range, slowly killing everything. Yeah, there you go.
Bars.
Appreciate it, sir.
Bars.
For sure.
All right, so a few car references, a few clever wordplay, a little diesel in there.
For sure, but it's all relative, so
yes,
I gotta make it make sense.
100%. So there's a lot of really clever wordplay. I feel like the another super important piece of this is to intake it as the performative piece, because I feel like when you're actually performing it, you got that smoothness to it. So it gives a complete different feel on both realms. So I highly encourage people to check it out in its like pure form, right? So as for this, if you can kind of run us down the lyrics, kind of break it down, show us what sort of techniques the last Maven has employed to his service, you know?
Indeed. All right. So well, the first one, like I said, that first bar definitely inspired the rest of the piece, and I really love that bar. Just because it kind of symbolizes an active mind, like my mind is racing, but under my eyes are tire marks. So obviously that's a connection with the car thing, but I'm also talking about the bags underneath my eyes from
So being tired too. Come on,
exactly,
come on,
exactly.
Ew.
Yeah. So, and then the following line is this revolutionary thought. So obviously in revolutions, we tend to think of people fighting the government and things like that. But in this sense, I kind of used it more in the sense of like, this is something new, this inspiring thought, but also revolution meaning something turning. Tire marks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this revolutionary thought, because I'm referencing the tire marks in the car racing, inspired the rest of the dialogue.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never the revolving aspect, right?
Yeah.
When I hear revolution too, it reminds me of like the industrial revolution. You know, like everything's becoming like machinery.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
super ill. So this revolutionary thought inspired dialogue. Okay, now we're about to get into the dialogue, right? We're about to get into what the breakdown is. Okay.
Exactly. So then with that, talking about the car racing, my engine running. So I'm up, I'm active, but my mileage is up. So I've been on this journey for a while. You know what I'm saying? And my exhaust is up as well, meaning I'm tired, I'm highly exhausted.
That's crazy.
But you know, it ties into the exhaust coming out the back of the car.
And you want that smoke.
Exactly.
Sir.
Exactly. And then that's why I tied it into in that energy climb up and throw the climate off, because it's that tired energy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
energy
crazy.
that I feel. I'm saying,
I love that wordplay. Like even if it's like there's no like what's the word for it? There might not be no like hidden meaning to that. Like, but just the climb up, climb it off. Like it just sounds very nice. You know what I'm saying? Very like pleasing to the ear, right?
I like the alliteration. And then like I say, it's talking about that exhaust where I was like, I'm highly exhausted. My exhaust is rising. That energy, that exhaust is what's climbing up and throwing off the climate. So it's also a tie to the
global warming.
Exactly.
Green energy, baby.
Exactly. But yeah, and then following with that, now this next line, I like it because it's really a matter of perspective and how you read it. The weather change is evident to you by and large or by a little bit. So that's going with the global warming thing. So I'm saying weather change is evident to you by and large or by a little bit. So you're either going to notice it a lot or you're going to notice a little bit, but you're noticing it regardless.
Ooh.
You know?
Kind of puts like they call it the biological footprint, I think, right? Like when they say like how much like waste you yourself produce, like by using the vehicle, like by all types of things, right? To me, it puts the idea of footprint with cars, like a different type of journey, kind of. To me, it just puts that image of like, yo, this guy's traveling somewhere, kind of, you know?
Facts. And like you're right, and that's all tied into it. But another layer of that line is still kind of playing with the last line on the weather change, throw the climate off. So it's like weather change is evident to you. So playing on the both words of weather, you know what I'm saying?
Change. Exactly. Weather.
Exactly. And then so whether that change is evident to you at all, or a little bit, you know. And then that goes into the following piece is challengers can't get out of Dodge. Obviously, I'm playing with the car, the Dodge Challengers.
Sir.
But regardless of if you're aware of this or not, you still can't get away. Proof of it.
So whether you get it or not, you're still getting it.
Exactly.
Dope.
For sure. And then that it still follows up. You can't afford escape.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the Ford Focus as well. So you can't afford escape, but focus goes a very long way if you cognizant of the road.
That's a fact, man. Those Ford Focuses last forever.
I'm saying, you don't need you don't need a truck to make those moves. You could just do it.
And with this piece, I appreciate it because I used to work at a Ford dealership, so I used to sell Fords. So like I'm like, yo, this I could put this in an ad. Might help me
You
sell more
probably
cars.
did sell cars. That's why you
They go crazy over this at the dealership. They go nuts right now.
for sure. They need to
Sir.
give me some sponsorship or something. I ain't got
Well,
mention
hell
this
yeah,
too many
man.
times. But yeah, so that you can't afford to skate with focus goals, and I think that afford part is just kind of like you can't afford to give away, you can't afford to run away, but having that focus is gonna get you there. You better off paying attention than trying to run away. In which once again it follows the following line before something perpendicular hits you, then up your door. So something that's coming from a perpendicular angle from your blind spot, if you're not paying attention from the road, it'll literally dent your car door.
Yeah.
Or it could just mess your money up. Something hits you from underneath and it sweep you ain't ready, and it mess up your dough.
Either way, you're paying up.
For sure. For
Either
sure.
way, you're getting that, right?
You better off paying attention.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Damn, we're doing insurance commercials right here. We selling Fords, we selling insurance, we selling everything.
I know. You know all about that. That's why I started.
Yes, sir.
For sure. So where we at? We at some perpendicular hits you, then up your dough. Keeping with the theme, it creates a chaotic intersection. So your whole psyche is gonna be messed up from something hitting you in your blind spot.
Your intersection.
Exactly.
Ew.
But then also the literal intersection, if it's a crash and something hits you perpendicular,
you're screwed. It's a bad
exactly.
term. Yeah, it's a bad accident.
You throwing it all off, which is even make your perimeter drive slow. So everything around you, from you having this crash or from this accident, will cause everything around you to slow down. The people around you, it'll affect them. But it's also that sense of people driving by slowly and kind of watching you from being misread.
Like they're seeing, like it's kind of like it's putting things into perspective in terms of like not only is this accident going to affect you, but everything around you is going to pause for a second. Everything's going to take that moment to kind of like, oh, damn, what just happened? Like kind of gravitate the attention towards it, basically, right?
For sure.
Super ill. Putting you kind of in the middle of everything.
Yeah. And then one for fun is make everything in your perimeter drive slow, homie. You know, that's a reference to
little Kanye reference.
Yeah.
Slow,
you know, it just felt natural. I had to.
I mean, you're from the Shy, though, you know? So
that too. You know what I'm saying? It hit me a little deeper.
Sir.
And okay, where we at? I'm trying to follow along. I wrote this. All right, so check it out. This is a little break. I wrote a verse before, but it was super scatterbrained, and after seeing everybody else's verses, I felt like I should be more cohesive and show something a little bit more appropriate to show what SOSA is about at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So I ended up writing this 2 days ago, so it's not all the way up there yet, but it's in here.
It's very ill because it's like you're seeing I can see the intentionality behind it in terms of the writing. It feels like it's kind of, I don't want to say catered to, but it feels like you're using all of you're filling it up with juice. Like you're purposely giving things that you might not, do in your usual time. You're making sure that each bar got a little something.
Absolutely.
So it's very appreciated, right?
And that's the fun part about it. It just feels like everything is sandwiched, everything is related and connected in a sense. And that's my preferred way to write it out. You know what I'm saying?
100%. It's super ill. Like take it from one side. It's very smooth, right?
Appreciate it.
Okay, so after that, you say either way, I must keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Right? So
still playing with the car thing, rolling. But I'm on my own. Either way, I must keep it rolling alone in my lane. So I'm by myself in a sense. But then I have like this. I love philosophy. So I have like this existential moment that follows, where it's just like, am I just a component in the machine? Was I made to be used? So just kind of thinking of what I am in a sense, and that's kind of a thing in humanity as well. Also, you think of like worker bees and just being part of it or being in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of that field that I'm trying to encompass with that line.
Like, is there a bigger purpose to kind of this? Like, it's kind of see. This is the thing with this line that I really like is when you're usually driving alone, that's when you have those thoughts.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? When you're kind of on your ones. Kind of when you start thinking about things. When people are there, you're not really I mean, it depends on who the person is, but usually those car rides home are the ones that kind of that piece. So
it's
it's
kind
kind
of
of
free your mind and open stuff up where you just thinking that way. For sure. Indeed. But then I guess off answering or asking that question and not necessarily getting the answer, that's just I'm fuming again. So once again, I'm upset. Still kind of have that exhaust, and that ties in with the beginning of the tire marks and then the exhaust raising and all that. So once again, I'm fuming. I'm running out of gas. Once again, going to the tire, put a dub on the diesel.
You know, you got that that rage. You know?
Exactly. And then tying with that feeling, that's when I go put the dub on the diesel. We know what that means. I don't really necessarily have to elaborate, but it's putting gas in the car when you're tired.
I mean, yes, sir. It's, you know, I didn't know Escapes came with diesels. Yo,
it's saying it do.
Yeah, I didn't say no more.
You just gotta get an update. You know what I'm saying?
It's a new model. It's 2021.
Sure. Well, you know where I'm going with it. You getting too specific. You trying to, you know what I'm saying? No, but but yeah. So then once again, I put the dub on the diesel. I consume when I'm drained. That's all one piece as well. For sure. And then still following along, fuel the frame, boost the range. You're obviously putting gas on it all and killing everything, which is also tying in with what cars do to the environment.
100%, 100%. I like the fuel, like the fuel part, and I like the boost. It's like all the words are very car related.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's every piece is kind of fitting in all the word choices, and I know that's nothing new, but like, you know, from you, I mean, you're super nice with it, but like it's dope to point that out because it's very nice when something is super cohesive. It goes from A to B, and like each point is kind of, every single word is tweaked for it. Everything is basically picked like that, right? For me though, I really like the bigger picture. I like how, you know, there's all these rhymes that are like, you know, super ill and super dope, but it's like you're actually getting the point across. At the end of the day, you're kind of self-conscious of what you yourself are kind of doing to the environment, but also in the environment of rap, in the environment of life, in the environment of actual environment. Like there's so many different layers to it, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So when you're writing a piece like this, right? I know that your intentionality was to craft it a specific way. When you go about something like this, do you choose the beat first? Do you get the little idea that sparks? I know you said the first line kind of sparked everything up, but like how does Maven IT kind of like take us through your process?
For the most part, it's the beat first. I think when I initially started rhyming like years ago, I just put stuff on paper and try to make it fit. But that's not something I necessarily like to do. It doesn't always feel natural. I just kind of like when the beat tells me something. And that's kind of where those lines pop up. Like sometimes my favorite times is when I get full lines that just pop in my head as if my mind was waiting and it was brewing it before I got it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, once I kind of get that and I got that little spark, that's kind of where I'm going, especially with how I already established how it's going to feel on the beat from what I'm saying. So it kind of
I had to Google something real quick.
What I do?
This guy's still dropping car bars. Brewing? Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, bro. It's a Chevy Brewing? Yeah. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up, wait. I think it's a vehicle.
Indeed.
Check it out real quick.
Right. That's probably a lost bar, ain't you?
So it's the bonus, the remix track, you know, when you buy the package, you know, a little extra.
Sure.
The thing that I was going to say is, like, for me with the writing process is, like, I don't know, I always look at it like rap is kind of like a superpower. You know what I mean? Like, being able to rap is, like, it's like something that's kind of out of there, you know? So to me, I always be like, man, what would I say if I was a rapper on this beat? I'd be like, oh, damn, yeah, I do rap. Put a piece to it, you know?
For sure.
So it's kind of like, I love when the beat kind of speaks to you. It's different than, like, it's going about it the natural process versus, like, premeditated, like, trying to control everything.
Or something,
kind of just let it go, right?
You freestyle it a little bit.
Kind of, you know what I mean? But not to that degree, but you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you know what I'm saying. Just kind of letting it go and letting it happen as opposed to sitting and trying to force something.
100%.
Beat to see for sure.
And that's something so outside of a piece like this, right? Like, listening to your previous releases, I know you've been going crazy recently. I mean, dropping very consistently. Everything is kind of all over the place, the range. You know what I'm saying? And even with something like Naps, I think, was it a whole project you dropped last night? Was it a EP kind of?
Yeah, a little
Dope.
EP.
Dope. So I feel like every track is like, we don't really know what to expect. And I feel like that's something that kind of plays to your character. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this like thing where it's like, yo, I don't know what he's going to say next. Like, which is kind of like,
you know, it's going to be something, but you don't know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? So in terms of that, right? I mean, I feel like you broke down the verse relatively easy, relatively quickly. Is there anything that you wanted to like add to it that we're missing? Like, because I feel like for me, it feels like the delivery is very punchliney, very in your face. Like, yo, you know, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get this piece type thing, right? Is there anything that kind of went on in you that you want to share with us in terms of like adding to it that we don't miss out on?
I did want the punchlines to be noticed. I'm kind of happy that you did tell me that, because I'm not always aware if they go over well. They kind of get lost in the flow, which is something that I also kind of like, because it gives you that replay value. Go back and you could catch something new or hear it in a different way. But you know, I just wanted this to be super dense with the metaphor and with related language to what it is. I love alliteration, so that kind of gives way to a lot of phrases, a lot of ways that helps me transition. But it's not something I do on purpose. It's just natural. Like if I'm trying to finish up a rhyme scheme, alliteration, something else. You know, it just happens that way. But I'm still trying to flex and just play with new flows. That's kind of why everything is all over the place. Like you said, I'm all over the place, but I like trying new things. Like I think I'm still trying to find that thing. But I just like creating so much on the way until I get to whatever I think that is. Which I can't tell you that.
And not to what's the word for it? Not to like go over it or like categorize it. But when I meant to say like punchline in your face, I mean like there's a layer of it that's very to your face. But then there's these subtle pieces as well that are like hidden entendres that are like you won't catch them, right? So it's not like.
Indeed.
Like me saying that is not to say that, oh, yo, it's just in your face, like mad easy to get. Like that's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't.
I feel like it's the different layers to it, and I think that's what makes a great lyricist is being able to make something simple so people can get it. But then once you hear it the other way, you're like, damn, like that's some Jay-Z like.
That's what I'm trying to go with. I'm trying to, you know, go set.
You know, so that's super ill, right? So with something like this, do you feel like you could see yourself writing in this style again, or is it just something that you would do that's like more of like for this sort of space?
You know what? I've done it before. I actually have a few tracks where I personify different things. Track where I personify children, hair. Yeah, like I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to send y'all that one. But yeah, I have one from the perspective of like a hair follicle. It's so crazy. Yeah, like I just sometimes like I can't tell you why I'm inspired. Certain phrases, like I say, will pop into the head, and I'll be like, that kind of sounds like this too. Like let me unfold that and try to get something out. I usually don't put out that stuff. I don't know if I'm holding it for a project or I'm trying to present it somewhat differently. But it's different as well, you know. So, but yeah, I'm definitely sharing with y'all.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Right. I mean, so we kind of got a little look into your writing process. We kind of broke down this verse down, and the thing is, it's been done in such a timely manner. So like, I want to use the next little bit to kind of just delve into Maven as a person. You know what I mean? Like what are your usual interests? Like how do you inspire yourself? Like what do you in terms of writing, in terms of creating things? Like how do you stay inspired, and what are your go-to, like, is there certain influences or certain things that you kind of like that helped shape the last Maven, the last one of them? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more Mavens after this.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm outlasting everyone. That's exactly what it is.
Yo, if you have a son, he's gonna pull up like, man, this guy dissed me so heavy.
I do.
Oh, yo.
For sure. He could get these bars too. He be acting crazy.
Yeah. You can get the smoking.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up to him at preschool and just bar him up. He's gonna be king of the dot right there.
Be like, yo, Dad, I don't want to hear this album anymore. Nah, right. You listen to this. Yo, bars, baby.
For sure. But yeah, in terms of inspiration, I definitely try to take bits of everything around me. I think one thing with me that I'm working on is to be more present. A lot of my stuff is written from retrospective viewpoints. Once I kind of allow everything in the process, and I feel like I know what happened, and I feel like I know my role in it, and fully how I feel about something, it kind of usually comes from that point. But like I said, I do want to be more present and just kind of taking the things that's around me. Like I could look immediate and start making songs about speaker or the microphone or something, but in terms of present, I kind of want it to be bigger than that, outside of my domain, and still learn to make those tracks and talk to those people that I'm not used to speaking to.
Like kind of taking a separate look. But the thing is, sometimes, like you said before, the idea kind of has to like brew. You know what I mean? And I feel like even just listening to it, it's like some people are able to write in a way that, whether they're talking about like a hair follicle or like a hairbrush or whatever, like, or like some story, but it's so intriguing that it just sounds like it's very interesting to kind of take that back, right? So I feel like that's something that you kind of possess. Like every time I hear a Maven verse, it's like, I want to know what this guy's talking about. Like I'm gonna listen extra careful. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's something that's super ill. Another thing then, so in terms of your inspirations, right? How do you did you answer that? Nah, I don't think so, right? Like in terms of things that like inspired you to write, right? You like what type of
you
stuff?
mean like style wise or just kind of in general?
I mean in general, kind of like you know, like we know at SOSA, you know, writer's block doesn't exist, and peace to all the ITs in the chat. I mean, but yeah, you know.
No, but technically it does not. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but
sir. Like you know, there's multiple ways, right? And I feel like once you kind of eliminate that concept from your head, but obviously as a human being, you have to stay inspired in general. Like some days, you know, you just like, oh, I don't want to do anything today, type thing, right? So whether or not like, you know what I'm saying? So how does the how does Maven IT kind of approach?
I think one thing that's extremely helpful when I'm writing is to feel accomplished in some, or like I accomplished something that's kind of outside of music. So I do a lot of sketching and a lot of doodling.
Nice.
I got a pads full of stuff. But just kind of doing that and creating something completely out my mind on a blank canvas that does something to my psyche. Even working out when I'm tired and I kind of reach that point where I'm like, let me slow down, and I don't, that does something to my psyche. It's like, yo, all right. So I kind of go into writing or go into approaching the beat with just knowing that I could get it done. If I'm lazy one day and I get to it, I might be sitting listening to the beat like I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this. Let me just write anything. But it's that intentionality and kind of forming the things around that situation kind of boost that morale before I get it. Because it does get hard. You know what I'm saying? Sitting, especially writing the verse every day, it's like, all right, what I'm going to talk about today? You know, but you gotta pull it in and pull in the world.
Right. And so, damn, man, it was just on the tip of my thought process. So it's like the idea of doing it every day, like whether or not you want to do it, you still got to do it. That's kind of what pushes the pen to kind of excelling past that, right? And just to ask, so how long have you been rapping for?
So you mean officially in terms of like I knew I wanted to do this, or just I just rhyming in the pad?
When you picked up the pen, my friend, when you picked it up and you're like, I'm ready to rap, or maybe both. Why not both?
Yeah. So where I picked up the pen, it's 2020, so that was like 12 years ago. 12, 13 years ago. Yeah. I didn't really decide that it was something I wanted until maybe 10 years ago. Where I was in school, I changed my major for it. I just started taking all types of steps, doing battles here and there. The open mics all the time I stayed on. I love open mics. Obviously, we can't do that right now, but that's really where I formed, aside from listening to the music I listen to. Fun fact, the first album I ever listened to was B by Common. Yeah, the first
the intro track is crazy.
That's, bro.
Yo, that is. Yo.
I think I probably know it by heart, and I'm not going to do it, so don't even, you know what I'm saying? But when it come on, just know that he not going to be the only one rapping it.
Sir.
Yeah. For sure.
I remember one of my buddies put me onto that album. So for me, I didn't get onto that album until maybe like a few years back. Like growing up, I wasn't really like allowed to listen to hip hop like that. Like I could get away with a few. I could finesse a little bit. But
yeah, but it wasn't fully immersed like now.
Yeah, you know how it is, right? Like growing up in a situation where, like, I mean, a lot of rap is what's the word for it? A lot of it's very like
vulgar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
you know how it goes, right?
That's what it is.
So we used to like my brother used to like finesse it for me, like, you know, certain artists that could kind of like could check them off the checklist. You know, if one of the Dukes caught me lacking, like, yo, this guy's, you know, he does this, right? So I got into the album like a few years back, but I just remember that instrumental was like crazy because you're trying to like, where is this gonna go? And once it picks up, it's like it's wild, right?
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
so about 08 you started rapping, then 2010, 2010. 2010.
It's like my junior year in high school.
You're kind of honing your. Oh yeah, okay. So you're kind of honing your skills now. Open mics, you kind of putting in the work, kind of getting nicer, right? So then that journey, then I guess. So you've been rapping for about 12 years, essentially. Yeah. So like it's you know it's not last night. You didn't start rapping last night. All right. No. So with that being said, is there any, like, I know you just dropped a project. Is there anything else that you're working towards? Because I know you're very you got that work ethic, kind of, you know, in terms of raps. Like I feel like you're always working on something, right? And I feel like so we should get the people to go check that out for sure. And what was the project's name?
Fridays. You say Fridays. I kind of split it up real freaky, but yeah, just call it Fridays.
Did you do the art yourself?
No, but I commissioned someone to do it. But when it comes to like that, like I said, I do the doodling and sketching. Super detailed. Whenever I work with the artist, they really don't have to ask me questions because I kind of present everything that's needed.
Nice.
But yeah, no, she executed it excellently.
It looks crazy. Like it looks ill. Like yeah. Sure. And the song I heard Naps super fire. I can't wait to get into the full project and kind of digest it properly, right? So as of now, then, you know, to the people listening to this, to find more of The Last Maven, they can find this project on all streaming platforms. Okay. And is there anything?
I got a website too, The Last Maven.
LastMaven.com. Yes, sir. Is there anything else that you know they should be on the lookout for? Planning to drop anything? I mean, you just dropped, so it's kind of like, you know, push them there. But is there anything else that you're planning to do? Any freestyles you planning to come through with or anything?
I will say I'm gonna have something else coming relatively soon. So I'm gonna let this kind of stew a little bit and breathe, but something will definitely be coming soon. 100%.
Then. And I mean, I think it was. I think this conversation was very meaningful. I feel like it was very smooth. You know what I mean? And I feel like you kind of broke down the bars. We kind of we delved into your writing process, your inspirations, and you know, like I thank you for your time, and I feel like it was helpful even to me. Like for me, my finesse is this. I'm breaking all these lyrics down. Just wait till I Majin Buu the whole styles. Like I'm coming for everybody.
I know you are. We gonna do it again.
Like,
it's definitely gonna be another round.
Say no free. Not just kidding, but you know what it is, right? But yeah, man. I mean, thank you for your time. Thank you for submitting this to Mental Arts Dojo. And yeah, man. Like, check out Naps. Fridays, but Naps is super ill. That's the intro song I was playing, and
for sure.
You know, thank you for your time, Maven IT.
Definitely appreciate you, man. It was a good one.
100%. I'm gonna hit you up about the anime later.
Please do. The what is it? Jujutsu Kaisen or something?
Yeah, the animation looks crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna
It's
check
crazy.
that out for sure.
We're gonna talk about it for sure.
100%. But yeah, bless IT. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your bars.
Thank you.
Stay safe over here, my guy. Take care.
You too.
Peace.